fantastic emoji stories. Temporal Patriots, the presidential paradox.
It was an ordinary day at the National Temporal Research Institute, NTRI, until Professor Eliza Hart, a brilliant yet eccentric scientist, turned on her latest invention, the temporal displacement device. Intended to retrieve objects from the past, it instead opened a temporal vortex. 5 figures emerged from the vortex, and to everyone's astonishment, they were none other than the likenesses of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, and John F. Kennedy. The former presidents, plucked from different periods of their respective lives, were now thrown into a world that had changed profoundly since their times. To quell the rising panic and avoid creating a national crisis, Hart decided to keep them in the secluded research institute and guide them through their surreal reality, while finding a solution to send them back to their respective timelines. With each passing day, the presidents experienced the shock and wonder of the modern world. Washington was astounded by the number of states in the Union and mesmerized by the concept of the internet and viral dance trends on TikTok. He was often found practicing the renegade in the Institute's lounge, his austere composure giving way to gleeful abandon. Lincoln, on the other hand, was grappling with smartphones, their tiny size and complicated interfaces a far cry from the simple comforts of a quill and parchment. Yet he was particularly interested in the progress the country had made towards racial equality, spending hours reading history books and articles on the matter. Jefferson, the architect and inventor, was fascinated by advancements in science and technology. He spent most of his time in the research labs, marveling at drones and debating with scientists about the merits of AI. Roosevelt, an ardent conservationist, was both elated and concerned about the state of national parks and climate change. He developed an intense interest in renewable energy, often engaging in passionate discussions with the Institute's environmental scientists. JFK was captivated by the progression of the space race he'd initiated, and the fact that mankind had set foot on Mars brought him immense joy. However, the constant discussion about veganism intrigued him to no end. To bring some levity to the situation, Hart came up with an idea, a high-stakes cooking contest. The challenge was to make the best possible dish using only vegan ingredients. The Institute staff, along with the presidents, were more than excited about this unexpected event. Washington, having no experience with cooking, struggled initially but found an unexpected talent in baking. His cherry, of course, pie was both a nod to the apocryphal story and a delicious dessert that left everyone wanting more. Lincoln's dish, a rustic vegan log cabin stew brimming with a variety of vegetables, reflected his humble origins and his newfound understanding of modern dietary choices. Jefferson, drawing from his fondness of French cuisine, made a vegan ratatouille that looked as delightful as it tasted. The vibrant colors of the vegetables resembled the diversity and progress he had witnessed in the present day. Roosevelt, inspired by the different fruits and vegetables he had discovered during his discussions about biodiversity, made a hearty vegan pot roast. His dish was a symbol of his dedication to preserving nature and its bounties. JFK, however, took a different route. He decided to make a vegan version of a classic New England clam chowder. Using innovative ingredients like oyster mushrooms and cashew cream, he created a dish that spoke volumes about the fusion of tradition and innovation. The contest was a hit. It not only lightened the mood but also fostered a sense of camaraderie among the presidents. They laughed, exchanged ideas, and experienced the nuances of a time far removed from their own. Each of them was a historical icon, yet in these moments, they were simply men navigating a world that felt alien yet fascinating. Finally, after weeks of trial and error, Hart managed to fix the temporal displacement device and was ready to send the presidents back to their own times. They were sad to leave, but they carried with them memories and lessons from a time beyond their own. And as they stepped back into the vortex, they looked back one last time, their eyes twinkling with gratitude and a hint of nostalgia. Once they were gone, Hart and her team were left with an extraordinary story that no one would ever believe. The kitchen was still a mess from the contest. Washington's half-mastered TikTok dances were saved on a phone, and an array of vegan dishes bore testimony to an event that was as historical as it was hilarious. It was indeed a remarkable chapter, not just for the Institute but for the presidents as well, forever etched in the annals of their memories and, unbeknownst to them, the course of history.